Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Eye on Port here on Metropolitan Television. Eye on Port is proudly brought to you in association with the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, Ghana Revenue Authority, Goil Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link Network Services, the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System ICOMS at our ports. The show is also streaming live on our social media platforms. If you go to Facebook, we are streaming live at Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, GPHA, Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, GPHA. You can also watch us live at Port of Tema on Facebook. Port of Tema. On YouTube, we are streaming live at Eye on Port Ghana. Eye on Port Ghana. Indeed, our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. If you want to have a grasp of all the transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you see all that happened here on the show tonight. We shall be getting interactive with you, so you can send us your messages and comments ahead via WhatsApp line, which is 0559-019-177, 0559-019-177. At the appropriate time, we shall also activate the phone line for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We're going for a quick break. When we bounce back, we continue the show. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road. Thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. My goods are on the IC, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor,
I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and maritime industry in the course of the week. And indeed, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, in the course of the week, held a maiden edition of the Editors Forum. Plus, the fact that the collaborative ties between the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority and the Port of Conakry has been deepened following a visit by the Director General of the Port of Conakry to the DG of GPHA. We have these stories, plus the fact that in Takoradi, the BEF 1 of the dry bulk terminal in the Port of Takoradi has been released to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Let's take a look at these stories.
The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana has held a day's forum for selected news editors in Accra on port operations to address everyday issues pertaining to the maritime trade. The program also assembled industry experts and veterans to educate the journalists on the nuances of port operations. While educating the journalists on port processes, Deputy Commissioner of Customs Joseph Eduche emphasized on the importance of compliance in reaping the full benefits of the automated port clearance processes.
And we are here to facilitate trade. And we are not here to burden you with unnecessary challenges. But what I will say here is that help us to help you. All the statutory requirements we need are all captured in the Act 891 of 2015.
He also revealed that plans are underway to automate the auctioning process. A former Commissioner of Customs, Wallace Akondo, called for legislation to back the online auction process. The president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, called on the government to examine the auction regime as traders lose their goods through it, noting that the high duties on imported goods made it difficult for importers to clear within the stipulated time.
Government to revisit the auction regime so that traders will not be affected. I can see a whole cartel being built around this auction process, and it is not helping us at all.
There were solidarity messages from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Food and Drug Authority, Ghana Link, and the Association of Customs House Agents Ghana, among others.
The media plays a very cardinal role in shaping our nation's discourse, and the importance of this role cannot be overemphasized. Thus, we are delighted to see continuous efforts and initiatives by various media practitioners to specialize in reporting in the shipping industry.
The Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association, Samson Asaki Awingobit, emphasized that the program would help members of the press channel accurate reportage on the industry.
I think it's the right time for us to organize such a forum, bring you those matters. Let's have a national conversation. And so that tomorrow, if your reporter goes out and come with any news item about how import people are evading taxes or anything, you'll be informed and you say, no, you were at a forum like this, and this is the process that they go through.
Bilateral relations between Ghana and Guinea have kicked a notch higher with the visit of the Director General of the Port of Conakry to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. The MD of Port of Conakry, Mamadou Biro Diallo, on 23rd February paid a working visit to GPHA to leverage on the rich experiences of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority in managing the ports of Ghana. He expressed particular interest in GPHA solutions to port congestion, its concession arrangements with private partners, and the administrative structures of the company.
When yourself, in fairness, work like grains. We run that terminal. Sometimes we have some rural vessels also going about. Our involvement in cargo handling is very small.
The DG indicated we have the headquarters and we have the ports. We have the Takade ports and then Tema port mainly operating ports. And so for ports, we have the directors of ports who are like assistants who report to the Director General. So we have the Director of Ports, Tema, and Director of Ports, Takoradi. And for each of these ports, they have departments that report to the Director of the ports.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Logoje, emphasized that the authority will always provide bilateral support where possible.
Within the context of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa, we have emphasized stronger collaboration among member ports. And we've also encouraged, whilst we are cooperating at the sub-regional level as a bloc, we've encouraged member ports to also do bilateral, or encourage a lot of bilateral cooperation, so that together we can ensure that at any given time we are all developing our services and improving quality almost at the same comparative level.
The delegation also visited the Terminal 3 at the Port of Tema to obtain first-hand experience of the world-class operations there. The first berth of the new dry bulk terminal has been handed over by private contractor Amandi Ghana Limited to management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to give way for cargo operations to partially commence at that berth. For now, seaside loading would be accommodated at the berth, while shoreside loading would begin in 2 weeks' time, following the completion of the pavement of a final strip of 200-meter stretch. Management has therefore met with the contractor to make arrangements for uninterrupted flow of traffic by trucks that will be carting dry bulk cargo to and from ships at the released berth in order to ensure quick turnaround time. The harbour master at the Port of Takoradi, Captain Richmond Quason, during inspection of the site, reviewed the new arrangements for bulk cargo operators at the port.
Berth number 1, as it is now, will be used for only clinker discharge. We're not going to do the normal loading, grabbing from the ground again. No, done. Clinker discharge, and we are looking at the traffic management, how the trucks will drive in and exit after loading. All the dynamics is ongoing, and the contractor have assured us that in 2 weeks from now, Berth will be ready.
Having released berth 1, the contractor will move on to focus on civil works at berth 2 of the dry bulk terminal, which has a total berth length of 800 meters with a draft of 16 meters, making it one of the deepest dry bulk terminals in West Africa.
All right, so those were some happenings in the port and maritime industry in the course of the week. Indeed, it's time for us to zoom into our discussion proper tonight. And tonight, we're discussing the benchmark values. Now, we all saw the controversy and the brouhaha that surrounded the announcement of the finance minister that the government was going to review the benchmark values, and that was captured in the 2022 budget. Now, government has released a new set of figures for the benchmark values: 10% for vehicles and 30% for other goods. And so we also had various interest groups. We had the GUTA, we had the freight forwarders, we had AGI on the other hand, and all that. And so tonight we are going to discuss what this actually means, these new values that government has released, what it means to the trading community in our country. And so we are privileged once again to have in our studios Dr. Joseph Obing, who is the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. Good evening, Doc, and welcome. Yes. We also have Mr. Joseph Agbaga. He is a former president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, and he's also a member of the ICOM's Implementation Committee. He's also here in the studios. Good evening, sir, Mr. President, and welcome.
Good evening, sir.
And indeed, we also have from the AGI, David Selom Adika. He's head of marketing, Avnash Industries Ghana Limited, and member of the Association of Ghana Industries. Dave, good evening and welcome, sir.
Good evening.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. So let me begin with Dr. Joseph Obing. And first of all, find out from you, when the finance minister engaged your members with respect to, negotiations as far as this particular new values are concerned, what were some of the issues that came up?
Yeah. Thank you very much. First and foremost, we thank government for listening to our plea. And then the finance minister had called us. Even before the suspension, he had called all stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, for a meeting, including AGI. And we have all made our positions and make our argument. So was it that government found it necessary that they suspend the benchmark reversal policy and give way for broader stakeholder engagement, for which we did. Then government met with all of us And we have gone into this engagement with an open mind. We're very objective, taking the nation at heart. And that we were not selfish on our demand, and knowing that we have to put the nation ahead of us in any discussion that we did. And so government also listened to all of us, all the stakeholders. And let me mention some of the stakeholders: Exporters and Importers Association, Food and Beverages Association, Ghana Pharmaceutical Importers and Association, Automobile Dealers Association, Ghana Union of Traders Association, and many of them. So we are all there, including AGI also. So government have dissected all the issues, and it's seen that if you go ahead and take all the 50% discount, it's going to create a serious problem for the trading community as well as the consuming public, and even for the government itself. Because it will also mean that government might not be able to even enhance on its revenue collection, but then it will impede on flow of the volumes into the market. So at the end of the day, we have been given a reasonable discount of 30% for all goods, and then 10% for cars. So it's a win-win situation for all of us, including our brothers, AGI, because government have to compensate all of us, and so that they have their bit, we have our bit, the consuming public have their bit, and government can also show up its revenue collection, for which we have to accept and move on as a nation. Though at the meeting, people wanted the car to go up small. But then in a situation like this, you cannot have it all. But at the end of the day, it's the nation that we have to put ahead. We have also to give concessions to our brothers, to have some kind of...
Because I know that AGI actually wanted a complete, reversal of the values. Complete.
But they cannot have their way like that, because the argument that they put forward, as a matter of fact, we are just giving concessions because there are issues does not merit any concession, because the benchmark. The benchmark reduction does not come in any way to impede on their growth in any way. The benchmark simply means duties that we are paying is too high, and the government found a way to reduce the impact for us. It does not come and obstruct their progress or otherwise. It does not come into their pricing or otherwise.
David, I hope you are noting
as a matter of fact, they enjoyed it even more than us. And whilst they were pleading that the government should take the reduction policy from us, they were pleading with government, please, even though we are begging you to take it off from the trading community, please maintain same for us. What double standard is it? Because they really admire the policy, and yet they don't want others to enjoy. So it's a good...
All right, so did you find the arguments advanced by government cogent enough, based on which you decided to accept the offer government has made?
Yeah, but we cannot go with discussions like that with entrenched positions. That will not be fair to the trading community, and then it will not be fair to the government as well. We are very genuine in our demands, and we are very concerned, and we put the nation at heart. Right. Even the demand of our brothers, AGI, we even put that one also at heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me come to Mr. Agwaga and find out from you what your position has been, as far as this benchmark values issue is concerned.
Thank you. I've always maintained that in my literature and all the literatures that I have read concerning valuation for goods for customs purposes, have not come across any method known as benchmark valuation method. In fact, the Act 891 of Customs Act 2015, Section 67, outline the methods of valuation as, or it modeled it after the WTO agreement on customs valuation. And that is what I know. So if benchmark is a new introduction of terminology, I'm yet to come to terms with that. But that is not the subject matter.
Right.
The subject matter is the transaction value that an importer who has bought goods or a sale was made for export, and which to him is an importation into his country. And that value is what the discount is about. And when you situate the conversation in that aspect,
Context, yeah.
I'm with you 100% because it is based on historical fact. So, for me, it is this policy of discount. It starts from somewhere, and we are all in these countries when things are going high, and therefore the trading public approach government and say that we are in this dilemma. Can you do something about the values that we present to you?
Yes.
So, and I'm not sure the traders also force government's hand in coming up with the 50% discount. In the beginning, my thought was that government could have reduced maybe the VAT and maintain the 100% valuation method, because VAT is a domestic tax. So we have all the command that we can even reduce the VAT to even 10%, or 8%, so that we can maintain. That is my ideology.
Yeah, sure.
But come as it may, government saw it that import duty or the FOB values of all imports should be discounted at 50%. So we all accepted it until when it came up level from GRA customs. You could they don't get the discount policy. You could see that even in the face of COVID, that government did not think that they would be able to hit the mark. They were able to hit the mark. So from that perspective, it's a win-win situation. That is what I can say about it.
Okay. So let me come to you, Dave. The AGI from the outset has been quite, what do we call it? Outspoken in terms of its opposition to the benchmark values. Now you've gone to the round table negotiation table, you've met the finance minister, you've met the government team, and this is what the outcome.
AGI is we are not this policy on local manufacturing.
Have you conducted any research that has indicated that the job losses that you are citing are a result of the introduction of the benchmark values? And how did that happen?
Well, if you come to my factory, I don't need to belabor the point. We have laid people off. Okay, if you come to the factory,
How does the introduction of the benchmark values affect your operations as manufacturers? Because I know
as is to be where why would any trader go and import cooking oil from his customers? They will prefer that product to the one that is more expensive. So what they went crying to government that cost of import into Ghana is high. It's not it was existing at the time. At that time, if you compare currently at current prices, if you do the costing, you will see that at 100%, local manufacturing has an advantage of only 4% in terms of price over imported goods. Finished goods that are imported into the country went below what we make in the country. Now, we had no chance to do anything about that. The only chance we had to keep on selling was that since 2019, when this policy was introduced, is export markets that we access in West Africa. So our businesses moved from 70% local sales to 70% export sales. Now, as we speak, those opportunities too are closing in on us. We are losing them. This is our situation. We are at a disadvantage. basis of the ECOWAS protocol that we have for common external tariff. So the direct impact of this policy on local manufacturing is that it has made importation business cheaper or more preferable than local manufacturing. And no country does this. I'll give you the Indonesian example. You know what they have done with their palm oil? They are the leading producer of palm oil in the world at this time. If you are lifting crude palm oil from Indonesia, you are paying a lower export tax. Why are they doing that? Because the edible oil refinery
you want on the side of government to make you thrive.
This is what anybody.
Were these the same arguments you advanced when you met the minister?
This is what we have industrialized. If you have an agenda to industrialize, there is no way you can do that by not being deliberate in making your local industry competitive. There are so many other factors. This is just one of them. I know so Dr. Albin will come there.
So in the last 2 years or more, in the last 2 years or more, we've seen manufacturing, both are,
Who told you this lie, man? Who told you this?
We have several figures. 1D, 1F is all over the place. People are taking advantage of it.
Please.
And the noise is all over the place. That these things are private. These things are private. We see the figures from government.
No, which figures? You check industry. Industry has gone negatively. See, in 2009.
Where are your figures coming from?
This is industry figures. You go and check. Government. This is from start. Competitive as far as importation is concerned. That let us do this gradually. And gradually means that we have moved from negative 13% to negative 9%.
I thought you would have said government perhaps has met you halfway.
Halfway? And I'm telling you that we are for industries that have not done their due diligence well,
neighboring country, Cote d'Ivoire, is able to produce at a cheaper price. Benchmark values. So how does the benchmark or the discount policy? Let's take the benchmark discount policy make your produce expensive here so that you are not competitive. That's how.
Wait.
You see,
he was quiet. So
when they do this hollow argument, then you are not getting any results. Because what you are saying, they don't as if they are confused. Because the other person in Cote d'Ivoire was able to produce, because the factors that's militating against you, like cost of borrowing, electricity, and all that, those factors are so good, and that he is able to produce at a cheaper price. How does the benchmark impede on your costing or contribute to a high price of your prices? Let me tell you. He's talking as if all companies are not doing well. It's not true. Companies are doing marvelously well, and we are patronizing those goods. So many goods, plastics, biscuits, and all that is not attractive for people to travel and bring because they are very competitive. Quality is good, even tires, 4 tires, and all that, and pharmaceuticals. But government will never surcharge the good people of Ghana because some company that is struggling to be relevant is not doing well, so all the countries should suffer. We do that.
All right.
They have to benchmark their frustration on the FOB prices of their counterparts also in Togo, in Cameroon, Senegal, Malta, and anywhere, China, like you were saying. That's where you have to benchmark your frustration, your pricing. And then you tell government that if my counterparts in Morocco they produce at this price, but my price is 60% higher than them. And that's why the Ghanaian importer even go there and bring their goods. If you know your argument, this is what you say. Because the discount policy does not come into play in your pricing. So how do you benchmark your values or your frustration with an imported goods that have paid freight, that have come and paid duty, with all these charges? And this is what the Ghanaian manufacturer is benchmarking its FOB to. They don't know what they are talking about, and they will continue to fail because if this continues, government do not sit up and sit down with. I'm very happy that the finance minister set up a committee of industrialization that they are going to also help traders like us to metamorphose into manufacturing, and that's where they will see actual industrialization. If you say industrialization, it does not mean that you have to overprice yourself. If Ghana want to industrialize and they overprice the produce, they cannot be competitive even to Togo. Togolese cannot come and buy. Because even if you produce everything in Ghana and it does not attract because pricing is high, no, it's irrelevant. So what is it that is militating against you? Not being competitive. It's what you have to make your argument. But the benchmark or the discount policy does not come anyway to distract your business. It's only a mitigating factor that government has done to reduce the cost of the importation. And that's all. And you are also enjoying. You are enjoying sale. And you are pleading with government not to take it from you. What double standard is that? That we should government should do arm twisting policy and put our hands behind so you can have your way. And if you have been able to have your way with that high price of your goods, you said that the price are higher. It's the Togolese. Togolese is not a Ghanaian like me. Is he coming to buy from you? He won't buy. The Nigerian, is he coming to buy? Because you are crying to your government that my price is high.
and that suppress your local import. Is the Togolese coming to buy because your price is high? So you don't know what your problem is, and that's very unfortunate. Yes,
right. Okay,
and that's why, yes, it's very unfortunate. The bank has no bearing to your failure.
Yeah.
But there are so many companies in Ghana that are succeeding because they've done the necessary due diligence even under the environment that we find ourselves, and they are doing successfully well. We don't paint the picture that all is grooming for local manufacturing. It's very bad.
Mr. Agwaga, let me come to you and find out. You, in your initial submission, made mention of the WTO and its position on benchmark values and all that. Is that the situation we're experiencing here in Ghana?
Your question is not too clear.
I'm fine. You told us in your initial submission the position of the WTO, World Trade Organization, as far as benchmark values were concerned. And I'm asking you whether you think that what we have introduced here in Ghana is what we should be doing, or what do you have witnessed so far?
Are you talking about the discount policy or what? Because to me, there's nothing called benchmark.
I'm talking about the discount policy.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
Be specific and
okay. Yes.
In what
right.
I'm going to talk about. Discount policy, as it came to live with us, both the importing public and manufacturers, they all benefit from it.
The importing public and the manufacturers,
yes.
Okay.
Those who are doing general trading and those who are into industry, let's say the manufacturers, they also enjoy the 50% discount policy. So if I'm a trader and I have 50% on this, the manufacturer also have the same 50%. So to start with, we are all on equal footing.
We're on even keel.
Yes. We are all enjoying the 50% import policy, discount policy. Similarly, the revised one, 30%, is across board, both the trader and then the manufacturer. Now, apart from this, the manufacturer under Chapter 98 have another step
concession
that they can draw concessionary duty rate from, which the trader does not have. The manufacturer has the opportunity, by deeming that he has been licensed as a manufacturer, apply for concessionary duty rate of 5%. So, on that note, government has taken care of them somehow.
Okay.
And the reason is this. Government knew that manufacturers may have to employ people to work. So as an incentive to them to create jobs, they've given them that opportunity.
Right.
Long before then. It is not under only this dispensation. That is captured in our HS. So if we want to talk about it, it means that manufacturers have an advantage over the trader who is bringing the same thing.
Because 40% leverage over
because they are going to use the same thing that the manufacturer may be using as an input into his production, as opposed to the trader who is going to make a direct sale. Now, I would have loved that the manufacturing concerns will look at this whole thing in a different perspective. Can we talk about the cost of electricity, water? Can we talk about the machineries that we are using to do our manufacturing. Can we talk to government about some of the taxes that they pay in the recourse of their business? Just as under the GIPC Act, when the people come, we give them tax holidays. Right? So, for me, if you ask me, these are the areas. These are the areas we should be.
They should rather divert their attention to cost of electricity,
the cost of electricity,
the machinery they use, and all that.
The tax that they pay, because they are creating. They enjoy.
Yes.
Mr. Mana, let me add this one to it. Even the duties that what they can produce here, that they want to suppress import.
All right, so this,
you see,
yes.
That we have poultry farms in Ghana and they are not doing well here and there, and government you brought this, that we should pay this so that you can leverage on that to assist the local producers. I have a friend who is an importer of poultry. He said it's a good idea, he will pay. And he will be in a better position. He would have ought this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The handling alone was not done well.
Very poorly done.
And no matter when we should be looking at. We should not sit down and then I like critical thinking. I like critical thinking.
So you're not right if you say, I mean, they don't kind of like.
She didn't get what I said. What I was saying is that when you take local manufacturing, okay, when the local manufacturing person is picks crude palm oil as an example from the oil CPO is selling to you at world market price. He's not selling to you at any other price lower than what it is being sold at out there.
Right.
So when he charges you the same price as it is on the world market, you do not pay the VAT and the NHI and all that on 50%. Are you following the argument? You do not pay on 50%. You pay on the full value, and then you do not get a refund for Get Fund, NHI, and COVID recovery levy. This is the point I'm making. So this is different from what this. So she didn't understand me. So let's just say that's a bit of ignorance.
Okay, so you go straight and respond to Dr.
Okay.
Obing.
If Dr. Obing is telling us this evening that Ghanaians, government will not set up Ghanaians to support local industry, that is a fallacy, because he himself has mentioned something like EDIF. Okay?
Yeah.
So let me just put that there. But I want to ask him, is he also saying that government of Ghana should deliberately put policies that will kill Ghanaian jobs in favor of jobs that are coming 6,000 miles away from Indonesia and Malaysia? That is a question I'll leave for him to answer. Is that what he's saying? Now, when you talk about all the other factors, like I mentioned, it's not only about this. This import levies and taxes is a tool to help you control certain things that go on in your economy for your own progress as a nation. Now, you and I know that we have a very high interest rate regime in Ghana. If the solution to bringing the interest rate down was as simple as what the importers went begging government for, that would have been done by government already. The cost of borrowing is not high because it is high. There are factors that lead to these are broader macro economic issues. Okay, and government is doing what it can. If you will remember, we've been in times in Ghana where treasury bill rate was more than 20%. Today it's 13%. Government is doing what it can do. All right? It is a process. We know that cost of electricity is high. We know that all these other things that makes manufacturing in Ghana expensive are there. And government is doing what it can do. All what we are saying is that while the situation was before April 2019, where this warped attempt, Mr. Bakan just told you that he's not seen this kind of situation before. He would have thought that some other form of taxation could have been reduced for the importers here and there to see what can be done. But this approach of giving discount on benchmark, he has not seen it anywhere before, as he is telling you. It flies in the ECOWAS, in the face of the ECOWAS treaty that we have for common external tariff. Okay, but that is not where I want to go to. All just what I want to tell you is, we are manufacturing in Ghana to create jobs, not only jobs in the factory, but jobs in the raw material sources for instance, rice. The time has come where others are trying to make rice even in land that has salt. Okay, in salt infested lands, they want to make rice from there. There was news just last week. This is happening in China. We have freshwater sources in Ghana. We have the land. Research has shown that Ghana, just from central region alone, can produce enough rice to meet the demand, the local demand. But all these other factors we are talking about have a role to play. At the moment now, if we go on the tangent of policies that will encourage importation to be cheaper than locally made goods, there is no way our agenda to industrialize and create jobs for the youth of Ghana that will never be achieved, because the existing factories are losing. There's news of. Let me just land. My factory, for instance, we are into oil refinery. A byproduct of the edible oil refinery is stearin. Stearin is the raw material for margarine. Now, my factory, Avnash and Wilma, we all have plans to go into the processing of that stearin into margarine. But as we speak now, the environment is not conducive for that. And so we have curtailed those projects. Those are jobs that have been lost. All the margarine you eat, the one that goes into making your bread, is imported. But your brother somewhere could have been doing the job that produces that margarine. This is what we are talking about.
All right.
And this policy on the cost of import is just one of the items. And there's nothing wrong with making this contribution that government should look at this. And shy away from this policy that makes importation cheaper than locally made goods.
I think you are making your point forcefully, but I think that the argument advanced by Dr. Mr. Baga indicates that you are also benefiting from this particular policy that has been introduced by government. Is that true or not?
Yes, let me explain something.
All right, so before you explain, I think that we're running out of time. So let me go for a quick break.
Okay.
We'll bounce back, we'll continue the discussion. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, one put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road. Thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling about Serene Insurance. Oh, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, so you're welcome back. I've been told by my producers that I can activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. The number to dial is 020-552-8353, 020-552-8353. You can call in and then contribute to the discussion. Now, you have a message here, Mr. Agwaga. He says, watching you live on Metro TV. This one's from Nana Kwesi. He's also a clearing agent. I think he's a member of GIF. He says, tell Mr. Agwaga that I love his heart, old boy with swag. All right, so that was on the lighter side. Mr. Dr. Bing, when you attended the editors forum, I mean, you were chairman for that particular occasion. You indicated that the benchmark values should be situated within the context of the WTO. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, if you look at the methods of valuation. Even though I'm not as learned in that area like Mr. Abada, you will see benchmark there. You understand? Yeah. But you see, from time immemorial, we've been handed with some of these. You know, first we used to have this book, Commissioner's Value, and it was a book like this.
Very voluminous.
Yes, and the importer do not have access in it. So these things create discretions for officers, and this is what we have to contend with all these years. Because if you talk about undervaluation, because they are bringing it as a tool to check the undervaluation, which brought the undervaluation in the first place, because people were bringing the genuine invoices. Yeah. And whichever invoice that you bring, however legitimate it is, they will suspect you. That you are undervaluing it, and so they will increase it. That's true. And so people then said that whatever amount that you send, they will increase it. Then they started reducing. So when you increase it, it comes almost the same. Okay. So we have to have a system that will ensure parity for all of us. I think it's a system that we are still looking for to make sure that we are able to make people do the right thing. Right. And we should do it. And we have suggested even custom to custom things and all that. And if we're able to do that, because a trader will want to do something when you see that the competitor is able to also succeed in that. Right. And so, but if you bring a system that will ensure parity and all that, these things will not
be fair play and a level playing field. All right, so let's go on to the phone lines and welcome a viewer from Amra here. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
AB.
Yeah, this is Kenny, please.
Okay, please flow.
Okay. I think I tried with what Doc was saying. You know, instead of the AGI concentrating on suppressing other industry players or the importers, they should rather look at talking to government in the area of electricity, water, and other input prices, which I think will reduce the cost of production. When their cost of production reduces, it will go a long way to affect their pricing. They can bring their price down to remain competitive, so to speak. So I think they should buy what Doctor is saying and then talk on that rather than calling for the suppression of other importers. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Ken, from Amra here. I think it was the same point that Mr. Agwaga made, that you should concentrate your energies on talking to government to kind of like do something about high cost of electricity, water, and other, things that you use, in your work as manufacturers. We thank you very much. So the number you can also call is 020-552-8353, 020-552-8353. You can also call in and contribute to the discussion. Doc, you were making a submission. Are you true? Yeah. So I can shoot to Mr. Agwaga.
My brother has been wrangling all over. And what he failed to establish is how the discount policy induces their price to go up. But your price should be competitive, and ordinary and naturally we will come and buy from you. We are pro-Ghanaian products, and we want to buy made in Ghana. And I have been in so many forums that have told government to establish a fund like the Exim Bank Agreement, where we will go to industries with our pro forma invoice, and then they give us this money to the manufacturer so that it become a tripod scheme. Yeah. We have been talking for industry, but they don't even want to know.
It, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But they don't have an issue here.
Let's welcome Amidu from Tema onto the show. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, boss.
Yes.
Please, what the question is to the local manufacturing companies are suffering from this high rate of. Vinash is not only manufacturing company. Wema too is suffering from the same thing. Go and look at Vinash. For the past 6 months, they are not producing anything. And if they don't take care, they will lay off all the workers. Wema too, if they don't take care, they will lay off all the workers. And what are you going to do to our youth? So please, let's damage switch to that area and then address the issue.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Deliberate on the part of that company. Let me tell you, that company have been importing the crude. They do not outsource it in Ghana. And they are having all the advantage, and government should make it mandatory for them to be able to establish a plantation here, because they have their own plantations in Indonesia, Malaysia, and all that. And then they come and have this concession, this huge concession. They do not patronize the local produce of palm oil, and they use this to confuse everybody. Now, this same company is able to produce at a cheaper price in Cote d'Ivoire. You should come and tell government how he is able to do it in Cote d'Ivoire. But now in Ghana, you want people to, you want traders to be searchers. This is not fair. You see, they are talking about rice production and all that. Our farmers have produced rice, and you know the price that they give them, very high price, a very low price. So the local produce of rice is being sold to Nigerian farmers, rice millers. So the things that they are doing, you know, year 2000.
Year 2000. Hold your fire. Year 2000.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Eugene from National Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes.
There is a problem with leaders because somebody has built a factory that can produce sugar. You are saying there's no sugar cane. 5 years, you cannot produce sugar cane, and we are still importing sugar. There are things you don't have control of: sugar, rice, oil. And these are the things that runs the dollar. Produce sugar cane for sugar. Then the importations will come down, your dollar will stay. Buy machines that they can harvest the rice, but then so that the bargain and the end product will be nice. Because I have a taste of a local rice, and it's nice. Even the local rice is even expensive than the foreign rice. Why? Because the one that is at China producing rice, the government is supporting that very person. What is the support we have in Ghana? People that are farmers outside the country are rich. Farmers inside the country are poor.
Right. Thank you very much indeed, Eugene. We're grateful to you for your call. You can also call the number to dial 0205528353. You can call and contribute to the discussion. Dave, you said you wanted to respond to one of the issues raised by Dr. Obin.
Yes. It is a fallacy if Dr. Obin tells you that edible oil refineries in Ivory Coast are manufactured at a cheaper price. No.
You said it on this platform.
So then
pay it back.
In that case, let me update his knowledge on this area. Wait, just a bit.
You just said.
So what happens is that there is the common external tariff.
CETS.
Yes. Therefore, as for the edible oil is world market price. The conversion cost is the same because it's the same equipment we are all using. What happens is that when my brother in Ivory Coast produces and he is bringing it here, he doesn't pay the kind of importation, the import levies that Dr. Obin would pay if he is bringing it from Malaysia. So he has that advantage. That shouldn't affect us anyway. But when he comes in, he is now coming to pay the VAT, which we also pay as local manufacturers. He will pay it on half the value of what he is bringing because of the discount. Whereas we will pay our VAT, our raw material suppliers. This is what
What do we produce in Ghana here? How many cars do we manufacture in the first place? Okay, so
has not been able to keep interest rate under 5% for the manufacturer, has not been able to take we are talking of raising more revenue at this time.
I think that on this show you have had people prescribe this particular solution. Mr. Bagay was number one to prescribe this. Yeah, we also had a caller prescribing the same. But let's go and welcome a caller from Kumasi.
Come back.
In transport by road from their source, say from today
the manufacturing sector, The road infrastructure it's very, very important. The plant and machinery that will be used on the farm. And even after the production, like he made mention.
Some 30 seconds. And,
during our discussion, there was something that Doc said. Application 30% discount or whatever, then you know that you have established the base, because the issue is the base.
Right.
How much that goods have been sold for export.
Okay.
So the banks should be able to bridge that gap.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Doc, 30 seconds. We are out of time. We also had in the studios Mr. Joseph of Ghana. Back. My name is Kenneth Dimona. God willing, next week, Sunday, we shall bring you another wonderful edition